Hey, what's up? How is selling different in 21st century? Do you know, according to latest research, more than 1 million B2B salespeople are going to lose their jobs by 2020? And that's very alarming. That's 20% of the B2B sales force. Why is this happening? It's happening because 21st century selling is way different from any other selling we have ever known. So, if you're a business owner or an entrepreneur, then this video will clearly show you what kind of salespeople you need to have and also what kind of sales system you need to put in place that's appropriate for the 21st century selling environment. That's right. And if you are a sales professional, then you need to pay attention to this video very, very carefully, because this video will really help you to save your sales job. If you do not pay attention, then there's a great chance that you will become irrelevant and you will lose your job. That's right. My name is Muralidharan Jairam, and I am your online breakthrough consultant with more than 25 years of experience in consulting, mentoring, coaching, training in Fortune 100 companies in the United States and also multinational companies in Europe and in India. Over the period of years, I have won millions and millions of dollars of business applying these powerful techniques of persuasion and neuro-linguistic programming, which I'm going to teach you in all these videos we are making just for you. Welcome to the Citrines channel, the ultimate guide to success mindset for business owners and entrepreneurs. If you want to really grow your business geometrically and discover powerful concepts, ideas, techniques, and tools drawn from the latest 21st century research in persuasion and neuro-linguistic programming, then hit the subscribe button and also smash the bell icon, because you will then be notified whenever we post our cool videos. What kind of salespeople do you need in the 21st century? Because of the advent of artificial intelligence and also other technological advances, selling has completely changed and is continuing to change in the 21st century. Back in the 90s, if a customer wanted to know something about your product, he had to rely on your salesperson. That's right. Of course, they were sent all the brochures by mails, but whenever they had queries, they had to approach your salespeople for all the information, which means that back in the 90s, salespeople controlled the information flow. But that has changed now. If your customer wants to know something about your product, all he has to do is go online. He'll get all the information about your product. Not only information about your product, he'll also get information of how your product needs to be applied. He'll also get a bunch of tutorials in YouTube to get a full, better understanding about the product. That's right. And if he does further research on you and your company, he will get to know all about your brand. He'll get to know all about the raves and rants about your product or service. He'll get all the information just by click of his mouse and just by going online. That's right. It is so easy. What does this mean to you? It means that customer can make a buying decision about your product or your competition just by going online and getting all the information, because they are very, very sophisticated. This also means that they do not need salespeople to get a buying decision. That is why 21st century selling is way different from all other kinds of selling. Since the customer can get all the information about you online, your brand, your company, your reputation, all the user reviews, the raves and rants, does that mean that you don't need a salesperson? Absolutely not. You do need a salesperson because ultimately the customer wants to have that one-on-one contact with a human being. That's how we all work. However, the way selling is done is completely changing, and the customer needs and expectations are completely changing, and that is why you need to relook at your salesperson and also the sales process in this 21st century. What kind of salespeople do you need in this 21st century? There are 4 types of salespeople. Number 1, the order taker. Number 2, the explainer. Number 3, the navigator. The order taker, the explainer, and the navigator, these kind of salespeople are vanishing in the 21st century. And these are the kinds of salespeople who will lose their jobs. The final kind of salesperson you actually need in this 21st century is the salesperson who goes to the customer and identifies what that specific customer actually needs and then matches your product and service to those needs. In fact, this kind of salesperson goes, sits with the customer, develops solution that will help the customer to achieve his or her business goals, sales, revenues, and so on. This is the kind of salesperson you actually need. If you have any of those other 3 kinds of sales people, order takers, explainers, or navigators, you have to really look at the way you're handling sales in your organization. And also check out the sales process by which you will be selling in the 21st century, or which you are selling in the 21st century. So, what kind of challenges are you facing in this current 21st century environment? Leave your comments below. It'll be great to interact on those challenges so that next time we can create videos around those topics. Now, how do you know that your salesperson or your sales process actually suits the 21st century environment? Well, consider these questions as I go through them. Are you acting as if your salesperson controls all the information flow to your customer? Think about that. Do you believe that your salesperson is the central hero of the deal? Which means you're primarily dependent on your salesperson to close a deal. Does your salesperson hate CRM, computers, and other forms of data sources? And all he believes is just go and build relationships with customers and try to sell? Is the primary role of your salesperson that of an order taker? Does your salesperson and you believe that it is all about building relationships with your customer and only relationships do the selling? Are you primarily relying in relationship selling? Do you believe that your salesperson's job is only to close deals? Do your salespersons rely on old school selling techniques of features, advantages, and benefits that no longer work? Does your salesperson rely on heavy slide decks of presentation? Are you using your salesperson as an explainer? Is your salesperson's primary job to help your customer navigate through the whole sales process? Does your salesperson shy away from using social media as an aid for selling? Does your salesperson talk most of the time to your customer rather than listening? Is your salesperson on a tell mode? Does your salesperson know how to ask the correct questions, how to qualify the customer, identify what exactly the customer has in his or her mind? Do you believe that all the customers' needs and wants are spelled out in the request for proposal, the RFP? Is your proposal only relying on what is spelled out in the RFP? And primarily, do you believe that you need to sell to your customer purely through logic? If you answered yes to any of these questions, that means that you are still married to the old way of selling that is not suited for the 21st century. It is time now to get away from the old school way of selling and get into the kind of selling that is suited for this 21st century. So you need to relook at your sales model, and also you need to reskill your salesperson. In the coming videos, we will give you a lot of information of how to do exactly that. I'm sure you like this video. Go hit the like button and share this video with your friends. Well, great selling